to I Am Geek, and this is episode 29, and I am Ryan Street, and I'm here with my brother Chris Street, our good pal Chris Catron, and we have a special guest tonight. Ooh, who could it be? Oh, I don't know. If you follow us on Facebook, you'd know. Our special guest tonight is a dear friend of ours. He goes way back. Some would call him a brother from another mother. It is Mr. Jared Colinger.
Hey,
and that is how you pronounce his name, and he's here with us.
You got it correct, Ryan.
Yay!
Took you this long to get it.
Jared grew up in school with my brother.
He's an educated man.
Yeah. I mean, they met each other, I don't know, what grade? I don't know.
I think it was it fourth or fifth? I was a year ahead of you.
I want to say fifth.
I want to say fifth for me, fourth for you.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. Because, it was... we met through our love of Darkwing Duck.
Absolutely, we did.
We were at lunchtime. Once you eat lunch, you would go and stand at the door waiting to leave.
I was ready to do the next thing.
Yeah, you just get out there like, I'm done with lunch. I'm ready to learn. And over there, and he was there before me. He ate pretty quickly, I suppose. Turned around and go, hey, yeah, whatever that means. And he's like, hey, you watch Darkwing Duck? I was like, yes, I do.
Boy, you don't know, he asked that to like 27 other kids before he got to you, and they all said no, and then he got to you, and he's like, oh, hey, we found one.
Yeah.
8 times the charm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we bonded over Darkwing Duck and eventually Batman animated series. I was thinking about that earlier today, that we would sometimes call each other up when Batman would animated series would come on, just based on the like title screen of the episode. We'd call each other up to see like, which villain do you think is in this one? I think it's Riddler, or it's the Mad Hatter. It's totally Mad Hatter.
Clock King. The Clock King.
Yeah, the Clock King. Interesting story about the Clock King later on, but yeah, love of cartoons. But Chris is a dear friend. So is Mr. Catron and Mr. Ryan Street.
Yeah. No, flawed memories. We were never friends. Which is also that's
a brilliant segue.
I'm just saying 2 songs that Mr. Jared Colinger has written and sang for his albums.
I am a musician, for those listening. The band is called The Enigmatic Foe. And those 2 titles that Chris just rattled off so superfluously. What a segue. Yes, those are 2 songs from the album that I put out back in 2015. It's on iTunes. You can also listen to it at Spotify, and should be at website enigmaticfoe.bandcamp.com. So, nice. Yes.
And Ryan, you heard the band name, right? Can you repeat it for me? Can you repeat it for me?
That's E as in enigmatic foe. Yes. N as in now you know it's enigmatic foe. Well, I just said now you know. That starts with a
starts with a K. Enigmatic foe.
Yeah.
I just want to hear the name and Ryan's dulcet tones. Come on.
Oh
Ryan.
Yeah, say it, Ryan.
Oh gosh.
Say it.
Good night, everybody.
I have had more problems with people saying that word, and I've just announcing it like upcoming band, or here's playing. Yeah, they have
here's what you did. You're like, nobody can ever pronounce your last name, so you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a band name that nobody can pronounce either.
Yeah, screw them all. That'll teach you, kids.
The enigmatic foe.
The enigmatic Colinger.
Actually, I know him from another band that he was in.
Whoa,
the Patchwork.
No, it's not the Patchwork. It's
the Patchwork.
Yeah,
that's the band we had in college, and that's where Jared and I really became close, I guess. Which, if you remember, we started. I think our first show was 2 bass players. Jared and Gaddis both played bass, or something.
Yeah. I think we were under the assumption that Ryan Gaddis was not going to be able to make it to the show that we were playing. So I was just going to fill in for the bass at the time. We both show up and I didn't know what to do, so we both played the bass at the same time.
That.
Yeah, so I was like, just both play. I don't care.
It was we were playing at a gazebo out near ETSU, and I had also taught myself how to play the accordion, and I played the accordion for 1 or 2 songs. But yeah, our first show was
that's funny.
Dueling bass players.
Yeah, that's how we do it in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Dueling basses, not dueling banjos, dueling basses.
Yeah.
That's how real men do it. But so we've all had, besides Chris, our hand in the music business.
I've had my hand in music, but that's another story.
You've had your hand in something else. We can't talk about it on the show. Anyway,
everybody.
But Jared's still doing music.
Hey, hold on.
What? Go ahead.
Oh.
Chris was involved with a music video that he made for a class.
Yes.
With one of our songs. So.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What song was it? I don't even remember.
Was that the one that had the bear?
The bear.
Ryan and the bear.
Yeah.
Ryan was in a teddy bear outfit.
We
It
switched.
wasn't my class. It was whose class?
No,
was
it was somebody that just needed a music video made.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we
Yeah.
were like, we'll do it. And we rented
And
a
you
bear
guys-
costume.
Yeah.
And the Mentos commercials were really big at the time. So we did it like a Mentos commercial, but we were in the woods. And we ended it where the bear taking his head off and holding up a thing of Mentos. And the bear was me the whole time. But it wasn't really me the whole time because I was running around with the band. So it was a shot of us looking at the bear, and then the bear takes his head off, and it's me, and then a shot of us looking at the bear again, going, "Oh my goodness!" So
Take that, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
What did we?
That's led to my career as a stunt bear.
Yes.
That's what I do now.
Music, it's fun. But Jared's still doing music. Katrin, do you play at all anywhere?
I don't play with anybody. My son and I play every once in a while, and that's about it. So he's an aspiring musician, I guess.
Awesome.
He throws his hand at the strings and plucks them, and I stand there and cringe. But I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I was doing music full time, and then then lost my job doing that. So now I'm volunteering.
Became a podcast.
Yeah, now I'm doing podcasts. I play music at church, but podcasting. Now I'm just talking.
Yeah, you
play
gave
music.
up that career. You gave up that lucrative career. Like, I'm going to be a podcaster.
It was a very lucrative career. It paid very well, the gig that I had. But, oh well. Now I do this for free, and I take care of our 2 kids at home, which is a job all in itself, and it's crazy. I salute all those that do it, because, oh gosh, lose my mind. Anyway, so so do you have any shows coming up, or?
Oh no, not anytime soon, man.
Man.
Yeah, when the album came out in 2015, we had played a few shows to promote the album. We had a 4-string quartet during one of the final shows. Planned to go on tour, but systematically things were happening. Bass player had to drop out. Drummer moved away. I was about to get married, and the tour had to be canceled. So
Aww.
I'm doing the marriage thing. Love it. No regrets. But I still have 3 albums worth of stuff just waiting to be recorded. So it's just hanging out.
Nice.
There you go. Well, we just finished Halloween. We finished Halloween.
Ooh.
Halloween was on. What was Halloween? Wow, my
On the
days are just-
31st.
That was Halloween?
What day of the week was this?
It was
Tuesday.
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 Yeah.
Tuesday.
Halloween was Tuesday, so I thought we would we'll jump back into more stuff with Jared about Jared's life and his passions and stuff. But we all experienced Halloween in some way, so I thought we could wrap it up, share what happened on our Halloween.
Halloween?
Halloween.
For your hair.
Yeah, my Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah. Anyways, and so share what happened. I know, Chris, you had a lot of trick or treaters. Catherine, did you have a lot of trick or treaters?
We did not have a lot of trick or treaters because we went out and trick or treated. So by the time we got back, they were all gone. Plus, in my neighborhood, I guess it's a bunch of old people because, well, I guess they usually are the ones giving out candy. But there's nobody walking around because they all go to this street, which is what we did. We went to the next street over, which is this really long street full of these nice houses, and we just drove a little bit, walked for a while, got back to our car, drove a little bit, walked around, and did a lot of trick-or-treating while my son was sick. So he's got some kind of viral thing going on, and we shouldn't have taken him out because it was cold and rainy. It was in the 50s or 40s or maybe 50s and rainy. And we're sitting there. He's like, I love this, I love it. And then at the end of it, we're like, oh, let's try it. And he's like, I think I'm ready to go home now. So we're like, oh, okay, But no, he was a trooper, and he's unfortunately been out of school a week because of this sickness. Hopefully we didn't make it worse.
So did you have like a treat bag and a puke bag just in case?
No, he wasn't puking. No, it was just like he's just been coughing. They can't figure out what it is. It's just some kind of viral thing. He gets them every once in a while. No big deal, but yeah.
So what was his costume?
It was fun. He was a fireman. We borrowed a fireman costume from a friend, and we made like an air tank bottle that we spray painted and put on the back like a Coke bottle, and then we made a fire extinguisher out of a smaller Coke bottle. We spray painted it red, and made an axe out of cardboard and duct tape, and he was all excited. So
just gave him a real axe.
Yeah, I did try that, but no. And then when we got home, he was really excited about handing out candy. And he was standing at the door, and he'd open it every once in a while. I was like, "Hey, we got candy! It's Halloween!" And, nobody's out there, but so he would get real excited. It was cute though, because there was one time I heard him, and a kid came up and he opened the door. He's like, "Oh, I like your costume!" He was all into it because he heard like the other people say that to him, so it was cool.
Are we like, son, be quiet. We want to keep the candy for ourselves. Don't yell.
No, I think we purposely got candy we didn't want because it's like these suckers that are good, but it's like we don't eat suckers, so it was fine. It's like, give them 20, I don't care. But it was good. So
Chris, you had a bunch, is what I've heard.
We don't have kids of our own, so we lure others in with candy.
Nice.
I
got video games in here.
Not yet. Not
Come on inside, children.
Don't you want your boat, Georgie?
You like the popcorn? The poppity popcorn?
Would you want your balloon? No, we had a ton of trick-or-treaters this year. Last year we got a bunch of bags, and we had a bunch left over. I got 8 big bags this year, and we started at 6. It was all giant-sized candy bars, and we just throwing them left and right. We started at 6 handing out candy, and by 8 o'clock we were out.
Wow.
And so, like, I was down. It was like we have a basket, and I was down to like 4 pieces of candy or whatever. And there was this little kid dressed as a Spider-Man outfit, and he was like starting to get, I don't know, kind of cranky, I guess. Yeah, he used to do the hand thing up and down, getting cranky. And he kept flopping on the ground, and his parents were like, "Come on, don't you want to go get candy? Let's go get candy." He's like, "I don't want to." And so I had the 4 candy things, and I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be the last one. I just got to give it to him." And I look up, and I see a big group walking down the street. I'm like, "Oh crap!" I'm like, "Come on, kid, come on, get up and walk towards me." And finally, I just like went halfway with him and just like gave him the candy and ran and shut off the lights and went inside.
Time to start handing out pennies.
Just random stuff from your refrigerator that you don't want anymore.
This is a casserole is delicious.
So how many pieces of candy did you give per kid?
Well, I was doing like 2 or 3, but like Jenny, for some reason, when we were starting out, she was like handing out big handfuls of it at first. And I was like, "What are you doing? You're gonna run out of everything." She's like, "Oh, we got plenty of bags in there." I'm like, "There's a bunch of kids coming. Stop doing that."
Yeah, that's the way it was. The opposite for us because I was just like, "Here, kids, have some candy." Just grabbing a handful of stuff and then I look over and my wife's just like, "Here's one piece of candy," and I'm just like, and they would look at her like, "Really?" And then Grant, our son, started handing it out to people.
That's cool.
But so you went as Donald Trump, right?
It wasn't supposed to be.
It was Pop Art Donald Trump.
Pop art Donald Trump.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be Donald Trump at all. That's what I ended up looking like. Because Jeannie wanted to do this like pop art face stuff, and she did like her face is all blue and all the dots and everything. So I have to drive from like Dallas home, which is like an hour and something sometimes. So I had like 30 minutes to get ready, and she just put it on real quick. And I'd gotten this like gray wig, which I like put on once, and it looked fine on its own. But then once that wig was on, and the makeup was on, and the suit was on, yeah, I looked like a Donald Trump. This is like, well, I guess this is my costume.
You made Halloween great again. So
Huge, big whole pile of candy.
So you guys had fun though, right?
Yeah, we had a good time. Yeah. Good.
We had fun. We had a good night. We live in a pretty big neighborhood, so we had a bunch of kids come by, and I took Grant. So I went through. I posted that I was a Halloween diva because I like changed costume like 3 times or something like that. Because he wanted to be a dinosaur, so he was a dinosaur. So I was like, I'll go like as a Jurassic Park like dinosaur wrangler. So I had like the
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, well, not really, because I didn't really have his costume. I just had like a vest that I would go paintballing in, like this camo vest. So I left that open with like a shirt on, buttoned-up shirt on under it, and like jeans and stuff, and a hat, and just sort of act like I was wrangling him the whole time.
You know what? When I saw that picture though, I thought you were the guy from the Gravity Falls. I thought it was the same costume. Well, I was like, you wore that already. What do you?
No.
I saw the picture and I didn't see it all at first. I mean, you were just camo and everything.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything.
Yeah, that's what
I didn't have the right clothes to do Chris Pratt, or the body to do Chris Pratt, or the hair. So so I went as generic Jurassic Park Dino Wrangler. So that was fun because I like took him around, and because we handed out some candy first before I took him out, just sort of because this was really his first Halloween, knowing what was sort of trying to figure it out. Because last year, we had fun, but he didn't really understand what's going on. We didn't go trick or treating really. So he handed candy out, and so I would take him to houses. I was like, "Do you want to go walk around?" He's like, "Yeah." So we walked to the houses. I'm like, "Go up there and say trick or treat," and he would walk up and go trick or treat, and then he would reach into his pumpkin, pull out candy, and hand it to the adults.
Oh, you give her.
And they were like, "No, you get the candy." And he was just like, wouldn't. He was like, "No, here, candy." Here. Like, "No,
let me eat this.
You get to take the candy." So, but he did that for a few houses, and then he was just like, "Mama," and I was like, "You want to go back?" He's like, "Yep." So then we went back, and then I changed into costume number 2. I did my full Kylo Ren costume because there were so many kids coming up. I thought it would be fun for the kids, and everybody called me Darth Vader, which so annoyed me.
And then you grabbed their candy and shut the door on them.
I mean, I had the lightsaber, I had everything. I mean, the Kylo Ren lightsaber, the Kylo Ren helmet, and they were like, "Oh, Darth Vader!" And I'm like, "You little
stupid
kids.
This
generation is doomed."
But it was like a Disney character. Like, well, I guess it is a Disney character, but it was like you were at the parks because kids kept going, "Take my picture," and their parents would come up and they stand beside me, get their picture taken, and then get candy and stuff. So I just started charging for pictures and
$5.
But But then, like, parents are, I guess, we decorate. I mean, I did the Pinterest decorations, I guess. I did whatever I had laying around, I turned into Halloween decorations. We had dollar, like, pumpkins that I put in all the windows and lit them up and put them outside and stuff. So all the parents were like, oh, it's so good. I had ghosts in the window. But we did have a projector, and this lady came, like, running up our driveway. Where did you get that? Where did you get that? And I was in full Kylo Ren, and I'm like, Lowe's?
just take it.
Yeah. So she stood outside of our houses videotaping the projector, the stuff on the window, as it would change into different, like, zombies or ghosts or something. So she sat there forever, and I was just like, this is sort of weird.
So these are all
change your locks and give her some candy.
Yeah. But we had a good night. It was rainy, so we were going to go to something down the street from us, but it was rainy, so we just hung it on the porch. Our little newborn was dressed as a cupcake. So,
I'll just eat her up.
Yeah. So we had fun. And then my third costume, which really wasn't a costume change, but I thought it was funny. After they, I had this
Lady
wig.
Gaga of Halloween costume.
Yeah, I had this old wig, and I took the Kylo Ren helmet off, and I put the wig on and was like, look, I'm Jon Snow. It's like, and I don't even watch Game of Thrones, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm Jon Snow now, because I have a beard, hair, and I'm all in black.
Or does he have a beard?
He's got sort of a beard.
I guess he does. Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I don't watch it, so I don't know, but that's what people tell me, so... So if you're Kylo Ren and you need another costume, just take the helmet off, and then you're Jon Snow.
Sure.
There you go. It works.
How was your Halloween, Jared?
I had to work, but by the time I got home, we apparently did have trick-or-treaters, and my wife was there handing out candy. So we apparently did. So we just got a house earlier in June, so had no idea what to expect. She had and her coworkers went as Batman villains and heroes. She went as Harley Quinn, nailed it.
Nice.
And they did have a photo contest of the best costume, and she did win that. So that was cool.
Awesome.
So, but no, by the time I got home, there were no further trick-or-treaters, and remaining candy went to this guy.
Jared is pointing at himself.
And by this guy, I mean me, I guess. That was not clearly communicated.
So before we started, Jared asked a good question about what was the last costume that we wore trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
So not as adults is what you're saying.
Well,
not as adults.
I guess the last time you went out specifically, oh, it's Halloween, it's time to trick or treat, I'm going to get candy, not necessarily I'm going to help my young child get candy in that way.
That's a hard question. I don't know if I
Very hard.
can remember back that far.
Well, I'll tell my story to give you plenty of
there
time.
we go.
There you go.
Okay, this was the last time I went trick-or-treating, and it was with Mr. Chris
By
Street.
Jared Colinger.
By Jared Colinger. Sit back and I'll tell you a tale. No, I want to say I was maybe 11 or 12, possibly. I can't remember exactly, but this is going back to Batman animated series, and I decided I was going to go as a Batman villain, but I didn't want to do the regular kind of, villain that people would think of. That backfired on me terribly. I did not have a whole lot of prep time for this because I think I showed up at Chris's house and I will have short amount of time to get this together and didn't have Miss Nancy Street to do her seamstress magic. So I decided I was going to go as an obscure Batman villain called the Clock King. I think I had maybe just seen an episode where this villain was featured. He was all about time. He had these cool glasses that had a watch hands, minute and hour hand, and he had a black derby, and a cane, and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. So I had the cane, and I put, black cutouts of watch hands on my glasses, and had a tie that had a bunch of like Salvador Dali melting clock faces on it. So like, all right, it's got a clock. There's no chance that I'm gonna lose this. And I remember going out in Chris's neighborhood, and like, oh, are you the Penguin? Oh, are you the Riddler? Like, no one got it, and
businessman.
Are you here to do my taxes, or is this for the census? That backfired on me. That was the last time I went trick or treating. Had another costume idea that happened later that was not trick or treating. I was playing a Halloween show, and I decided, I'm gonna dress up as Robert Goulet because of Will Ferrell doing the Robert Goulet stuff on Saturday Night. Exactly, you get it.
Robert Goulet.
So I grew a mustache on purpose, and I had this Elvis Presley kind of wig for a big pompadour, and I had this crushed purple velvet jacket and a turtleneck and black sunglasses. I thought I nailed it, but everyone thought I was Elvis.
With the mustache.
Elvis with the mustache.
Elvis Mustache. Later years. Mustache.
It all started with the Clock King and went downhill. Anybody else got some misfortunate stories?
I can't remember the last time I went trick or treating, because I think I got to a certain age and I was I really more wanted to scare people, so I would just stay at our house, like we talked about last week, and just scare people. So I was like, either had a hockey mask on, or that weird mask that was split down the middle with the bullet hole in it, or stuff like that. In college, I remember I had a Scream costume, and I would terrorize people with that. And then I remember one year for something in college. I don't know if you remember this. I was a poor college student, so I got an old sheet. I cut 2 holes in it for eyes, and then I put a tie on it around my neck to keep it on, and I called myself the Semi-Formal Ghost. And that was
nice. I like that. That's pretty good.
Costume.
Thanks. Did you all ask Siri on your phones what you should be for Halloween?
No.
No.
Oh man, there was a plethora of things, and one of them I was going to try to do this, but I couldn't come up with it for work. We were in it was dress up like a bird and take selfies and be a millennial falcon. Right. I was like, that would be kind of fun.
You win, Siri.
Like have a Starbucks cup and like take selfies with everybody. And stuff. I'm a millennial falcon. It had good ones. Those they were even better. Yeah, but there was one.
Can we still do that? Does it still work?
It might. I'll try it here. Let's see. Hey Siri, what should I be for Halloween?
The scariest thing I can think of. A human hypothetical question.
Yeah, that wasn't very good. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, I'll try. Hey Siri, what should I be for Halloween?
I found 15 costume shops. Tap the one you want to call.
Boo, yours is not good.
Ha ha ha! That's a good one.
That's
Siri,
scary.
you stink.
Is that so?
Well, how are you going to like it when I don't have your calls anymore? All your contacts are gone.
Don't pick a fight with Siri; she'll mess you up.
Chris, can you remember the last?
Yeah, it was probably. I mean, it was probably that same time with Jared. I think I was kind of an obscure character as well. I was Inspector Clouseau from the Pink Panther movies.
But they got that. And I was standing beside you, and they got it. Like, oh, you're Peter Sellers.
Did a really bad French accent, and it was great. There was another time though we kind of went trick or treating. We didn't really go trick or treating. I think it was my freshman year of high school. It was me and Jared, you, and then Ryan Freeman.
Yeah.
We stayed over at his house, like Halloween night and just watch some movies or whatever. We decided to go out that night and just walk around.
Yeah.
And we were like, yeah, do some just grab a costume or whatever. I think Ryan had something, you had something. I took some fabric and cut 2 holes in the eyes and put it around my head, and took like a plastic bow staff thing. We walked around. I was like, I'm a super
Nerds! Sounds fun, and I would do it again, I'm sure.
yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's Halloween. Halloween's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went. I thought I would go try to get some clearance stuff at Target. It was just a pile of. There was still stuff there, but they just like took everything and just put it in a huge pile in the middle of the store, and it was just like pieces of costumes. They didn't even try. It was just like a mask here or wig there, so I didn't get anything. But Christmas stuff was up the same time Halloween stuff was up, so
We have a radio station that's already playing Christmas music.
Oh wow.
it's not even Thanksgiving yet.
I know, right?
My wife will not let us decorate for Christmas until the day after Thanksgiving. That's her rule. So
Yeah, I'm down with that. That's yeah.
So I'm thinking about all the pumpkins that we have, the jack-o'-lanterns. I'm just going to turn them around so they look like regular pumpkins, and I'll be like, Thanksgiving decorations.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Perfect. Gobble gobble.
They're doing a thing at our zoo this weekend where they have these giant pumpkins and they're letting the elephants do whatever they want with them, like crush them or play with them or whatever. So it's gonna be. I'm interested. We may try to go to it. I don't know, but and then they have some for some of the other animals to smash them and stuff. Like they call it pumpkin smash, but we'll see.
There we go.
There you go.
No one's at the battle.
Mm-hmm.
You could smash your pumpkin.
Yep. Just don't. Yeah.
Listen to the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah. Smash your pumpkin while listening to the Smashing Pumpkins while eating pumpkin pie.
How meta.
I know. So, Jared, now something that I've known about you, and I still think it holds true. You are a big Nintendo fan, and we haven't talked much about Nintendo on here, but I think this is a good time to break it out because you are Mr. Nintendo. You're a Mr. Game & Watch come to life.
I have amassed a collection of things over the years. That is true.
Just a few.
The room that I'm in, this is my allocated room. For people that can't see, or if they're watching this video, I've got one room that my wife has allowed me to have my collection, and what's behind me is maybe 1/4. So it's in the garage. But yeah, I am a fan of Nintendo. They just seem to me to have more IPs, intellectual properties that I'm fond of or I get excited about compared to what's on PlayStation or on Xbox. I like both of those as well, but they just have more IPs and I have more fond memories of playing Nintendo.
Yeah, definitely for our age, Nintendo is what what we remember the most. And I remember getting that first Nintendo system. Of course, I started with the Atari.
Yeah,
that was my first thing, playing the Pong.
You're old.
I'm old, yeah. But I remember that first Nintendo, and they haven't stopped. They've hit some rough spots here and there.
Totally. Some very, very poor decisions that they've made. But lately, with the Switch and what they're doing on mobile, and what they're doing with those intellectual properties, like talking about cartoons, movies, cameos, the theme park. I think they're understanding how best to, let people know and get passionate about all these different things. I mean, the Switch is a really cool system.
Looks fun.
Haven't got to play it at all,
No.
really. I think it was just the price point. I'm like, yeah. Because I have a PS4. Like when the Wii came out, it was priced so well, I thought that it was just sort of like a no-brainer. It was a new technology. It wasn't that expensive, so let's get it. But now it's sort of like, it's, the price point is, especially for me, I'm just like, yeah, I would like to play it, but I'm not going to spend that kind of money on it.
Yeah, they're definitely not selling that at a loss at all. And from a business perspective, I understand it. Uh, I wish they had put a game that was packed in. This was the first. I'll go into that story because I had been wanting a Switch for a while. I purposely, since I was getting married, I was purposely holding back on collecting things and buying games and things for myself. So that was like the ultimate thing for me to like, I'm not gonna buy this thing. I'm gonna be patient. I finally did get it as a wedding present for my wife, but at the same time we were buying a house and she did not include a game with it. I had this Switch with nothing to play. Eventually I talked her into letting me download a copy of Snipper Clips, which is a really fun game for $20.
I'm getting that done on Tuesday.
That's right up Ryan's alley.
What a coincidence. Segue.
Anyway, sorry.
Avoid, jump.
We're off the rails, folks.
So tell us about Snipper Clips.
Yeah, it's an independently developed like puzzle game where two players are playing simultaneously to solve puzzles, but you have the ability to cut each other into shapes that are required to solve these puzzles. So you're, getting close and snipping a little bit here and there, or you could just run around like crazy and just start cutting people.
The game of mutilation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But it was a super fun game. I finally did get Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and right now I think I've got about 145 hours put into it.
Wow.
And I'm not done. I thought I was doing well collecting things, and then I watched the completionist on YouTube. I watched a video, and my mind got blown with how much stuff I still have not done or have collected.
So is that all like side stuff too?
Yeah, there's some side stuff. There's things to improve, like how many weapons you can hold or bows that you can hold, all these different side quests, hearts, and things like that. It's mind blowing.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks very. I had the Zelda game for the Wii. Never finished.
Skyward Sword?
Yeah, I never finished it, which is sad. But I had them all for the portables. I finished all those. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zelda's a great game.
Now, do you still find any time to play any games?
Nope.
I know you've got.
Got kids.
And I miss it. And my PlayStation Plus just expired, which that's how you play online. And I'm like, but I can't really justify getting it until I will get it back because I am going to get Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I will play that some. But I don't get that much time to play anymore, which is sad. I don't get that much time to do anything anymore.
Now, are you going to wait till Christmas?
For Star Wars
For
Battlefront?
Battlefront?
No, I got it pre-ordered.
Day one. Yes.
Day one, I will be there and I will have it.
Nice.
I played the beta. It was fun. I'm not any good at those multiplayer shooters, but it's Star Wars, so I like to play it. Like I got the first one, I like to play it, but I really want to play the one player, the standalone
Campaign.
game, the campaign,
Yeah,
because it looks really cool. But yeah, I would love to see. I've got so many games in there that I've started and never finished because when you have two kids, you don't get a chance to play.
just get a job like me and play them at work. That's what I've been doing.
There we go. I do have all my old systems from that I've ever had. I still have them all.
Wow.
So when my kid gets old enough, I'm gonna be like, dude, I got you the latest system. None of your friends is gonna have this. Like, happy birthday. And he'll be like, what is this? I'm like, just trust me, you're gonna love it. And he's like,
just blow on it. Just blow on it.
Just blow on it. Put it in there. 8-bit glory. And they're gonna be like, oh, this is great. My friends don't have this. I did get the NES Mini. Not the SNES, but the NES. And I like it, but it's sort of like one of those things once you play it and then you're just like, all right.
Yeah. I remember your thoughts on one of the previous podcasts, and I think that's legitimate. I mean, we over the years, the three of us have played a bunch of games together. Do you remember any specific ones that you thoroughly enjoyed? I mean, obviously, any game that required jumping was not for Chris Street.
No,
Or
not
me.
at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. That's my kryptonite is jumping.
Yeah.
But do you remember specific games that you?
I mean, to me, it's like, well, I can think two off the top of my head. One, of course, being Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Just hours upon hours of that was just fun. Again, mostly killing myself and everybody laughing at me, which is great. But I mean, I got some hits in too, though. So I mean, that one's always fun. I always like playing Marth. Is it Marth?
Marth.
Marth. When you do something really cool, they'd start chanting the name like Marth. and then Freaky Flyers.
Oh yeah.
I like Freaky Flyers. It's like a weird, cartoony flying game that you would. It's like a racing game. You would fly around.
Smash Brothers Championship belt. That's Freaky Flyers.
Freaky Flyers, right there. Freaky Flyers. Oh, I love that game.
Yes. And the floor behind me was a Super Smash Brothers champion belt.
Where'd you get that?
You won it.
Did you win that?
No, unfortunately, I didn't win it. The people that do like the Smash like championships, they are on a level beyond me. They study the frames of animation. They know when a move is starting and how many frames they got to get away from it or something to counter with it. I'm like, I'm just playing the game. But but that belt was a giveaway from for GameStop, and I still had connections when I used to manage the store in Lenore City, Tennessee. So I have got tons of like video game swag in the garage. It's just gathering dust.
I would be wearing that like every day. I'd just be like going to Target and being like, hey, champion here. Look at me. Smash Brothers. So who is your favorite, we can name it, because Katrin, did you play Smash Brothers?
I didn't play it that much. I think I played it one time.
Well, never mind.
But I'll tell you a quick story. The place where my son gets his haircut, they have this little area. It's like a kid's barbershop kind of thing, and they have a little area of video games, and they're all retro video games. But they have a Nintendo 64 and a Smash Brothers game in there, and somebody stole it one time. The guy was pretty mad. He's like, "You know how much that cost to get that game?" He's like, "I can't get another one," But he finally did, I think. But I don't know.
Keep us locked up.
I think I played it, a couple times. But,
so for those of us that regularly played it, who's your favorite character? So yours was Marth or
Marth? I usually went between Marth and Zelda. Not Zelda. Link. Faux pas there. Link, because he would do the what and like go up and like spin.
He'd vomit on himself.
Yeah, I don't know the name of the move. I just know the sound he made. He'd spin and shoot up in the air, and I always like to get people close and do that, and then make them fly off, and that was fun.
Nice.
For me, it's usually either Mr. Game and Watch, Pikachu, or if we were playing Melee and below, it would have been Ice Climbers, just because it's just funny to me that these two little cute kids are beating the crap out of each other or other people with mallets, and they just look adorable.
And they're frustrating too, because you're fighting one, but it's not necessarily the main one. You knock that one off, there's still another one running around.
That's correct. What about you, Ryan?
I was always a Kirby man. I loved the Kirby. He was always fun to play.
Yeah, I think
Kirby. Sorry.
What?
He's got those curves.
Yeah.
He's so curvy.
He always did, he'd fly up, and it was hard to get, to fall off with him, as he would just be like, whoop, 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 back on.
I managed it pretty well, because I would always turn into like the brick Kirby when I shouldn't, and drop like a brick. Yeah.
I would do Kirby, and I think I would do Falco.
Falcon Punch.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Oh, Falcon.
No. From Star Fox.
Okay, sorry.
That's his name, right? Falco.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are the two that I would play with most. That I can remember. It's been a while since I played because I don't really have anybody to play with. So that's one of those games where you need like friends there playing. It's just like when you're sitting there alone, you're just like, well, I'm gonna play some Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Years ago, when Chris, I can't remember where he was living. Maybe still in Florida. I think it was on the Wii where we would have a match.
Yeah, you could start to get online with that, yeah.
And, but we were there was an option to record some gameplays, and there's one I think it's still on an SD card, but there was this moment where there was a stage, and if you hung around in the water too long, there was a fish that would come up and eat you, just if you didn't get out of the water in time. And this happened to him, I want to say 3 or 4 times in a row.
I'm a slow learner.
and I had that gameplay replay, and it just cracked me up so much. But no, I always had such fond memories of playing video games with you guys. That was always the most fun.
Oh, I miss it. That I mean, Smash Brothers and then probably Mario Kart were the two.
Yeah, Mario Kart was always fun.
Always fun times.
So, do you guys play any mobile games on your phone? I mean,
yes, Chris and I do.
We play. What's it called? Actually,
Marvel's
Marvel game with
the Marvel
Puzzle Quest.
Puzzle Quest.
Yes. Yeah. That's fun. You kind of like you're teaming up a little bit just to get like free stuff.
Yeah.
Like coins and stuff like that.
But if you remember Puzzle Quest, it's Puzzle Quest but with Marvel characters.
Did you do any of did you do Pokemon Go or Super Mario Run or the Fire Emblem Heroes game?
I tried the Mario Run until it was like, no, pay me, and I was like, no, I'm not going to pay you $10 to play the rest of it. So I played like the first 3 levels. I never did the Pokemon Go because Pokemon was really after my time.
That doesn't stop most people. Jeez, that's like all these adults. I was talking to this lady at work one time, and I was trying to help her with her computer or whatever, and she's like, she was talking to somebody off on the side about like, I've got to go get da 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 da. I was like, what in the world? Just it caught me off guard, but it doesn't seem to stop people that are our age or older sometimes. It's kind of weird, but
I'm in an industry where no one grows up, and they were like everybody playing it.
But yeah, I play Puzzle Quest a lot, and then I'll play Best Fiend some because Chris
I'll play Best Fiend.
Did some stuff for it. So I think that's about it. Yeah,
those are the 2 games I kind of go in between. Yeah, the Marvel Puzzle Quest and Best Fiends.
That Marvel Puzzle Quest is addictive.
It really is,
but it is addictive. Because
you can collect superheroes, basically. You collect superheroes, and then you can fight with them. Like
gotta catch them all, Chris. Gotta catch them all.
It's my Pokemon.
Yeah, that's my Pokemon too. It's cool though because they all have special powers, and you're trying to do. But I tend to only use like 3 characters. I'll use Thor, Thanos, whatever you want to call him, and Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
and those are sort of my go-to 3 because they just like slaughter people like crazy. And then I'll use Miss Marvel and Storm for the ones where you have to choose the lower characters.
Yeah, I'll use Miss Marvel, Storm, and Thor.
Yeah,
for those, and then I use a lot of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange basically his power is if anybody uses power on you, he like takes a bunch of their health off and gives you health, and then. Thanos, however you pronounce it, I don't know. Thanos. Every time he kills somebody, he just like slaughters the rest of the team and kills them all off. So those are my
good times.
So what are your thoughts on? Because you mentioned Nintendo Land earlier. What are your thoughts, Jared, on Nintendo Land coming to Universal Studios Florida and Japan. I don't know if is it coming to the Hollywood. I don't know.
I don't know, but just the fact that Nintendo is trying to use those IPs because there's such potential. I mean, with let's say Donkey Kong Country, like there's a whole minecart level, throughout that whole series for Donkey Kong Country. I mean, just the possibilities are endless. So I'm excited for anything. It could be just a cafe to eat some Mario themed food. That would be fun.
Some mushrooms.
Yeah. Kids, come get your mushrooms at the Universal Studios.
It's a me.
I'm wondering because I usually go to Universal Orlando once a year for their Halloween thing, and I'm trying to figure out how big it's going to be because it doesn't seem like there's a ton of space.
Yeah.
To do it up
I don't
right.
think it's going to be huge. I don't think it's going to be huge. I think it's like good because it almost seems to me like it'll be like the Islands of Adventure where they have like just like those small sections.
Right.
Yeah.
They've got maybe like 2 or 3 rides or something like that. I can see something like that.
I'm looking it up to see if they say. So if you could design one ride for Nintendon't, what would it be?
And for what series? Goodness.
There's a lot to think about there.
I'd like to. Oh, go ahead.
Now you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the Halo section would be great.
Oh my goodness! I was like,
good night, everybody.
Serious?
No, that's not Nintendo. I know.
So supposedly, plans have leaked, and Kid Zone will be gone, which that is Fievel's Playland.
Not Fievel.
Yeah, the Day in the Park with Barney. Curious George Goes to Town. Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster. The only attraction that is safe for now is E.T. But all the rest over there will be gone.
That's my favorite.
That's just because that's an environmental disaster now, and they can't really do anything about it.
This is where we're hiding all the
E.T. is the
bad stuff.
E.T. is the only opening day attraction that's still there at Universal. Everything else has changed.
Oh.
And it's still the same water that circles through. It was in there at the beginning.
Water? There's no water in it.
There's that musty smell when you go on it.
Oh no, that's like the forest smell.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It does have a unique smell. Yeah. It says the signature attraction will be based on Mario Kart.
Which I think will be cool. I mean, that's just a series ripe for whatever. Whether they do, yeah. I mean, I saw some video of them doing like a VR version of Mario Kart in Japan that looked just
I think it's going to be the same thing.
Crazy.
Guests wear augmented reality glasses that display power-ups, obstacles, and more from the game series.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you get hit, you flip upside down.
Probably not. And then a Donkey Kong roller coaster will also be built. There we go.
All right.
They took your advice. And I guess there'll be plenty of interactive elements around. Blah blah blah.
Blah blah
blah blah blah.
But there's so much there. I'm trying to think if I could design one ride. It would probably be either Castlevania based or Metroid based. Something
those
out of the box, because that would just be like you could do some kind of like with the Metroid, you could do something like Men in Black or where you have guns and you can shoot. That ride. Castlevania, just like a classic dark ride would be really cool.
Haunted Mansion.
They need to have a Kirby bakery.
Yeah, but Castlevania's from Konami, not Nintendo.
Snap!
But I still want it.
Yeah, I'm not disputing. Did you see the Castlevania cartoon anime on Netflix?
Yes, yeah.
Look, I thought that was pretty cool. Yes, absolutely.
Remind me of
we'll just go
like
Metroid, not Castlevania.
Vampire. Reminded me of like Vampire Hunter B or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy. Yeah.
What would they serve at Kirby's Bakery, by the way?
just everything.
Everything.
And anything. You have to eat it in one bite though. That's the thing. Whatever you order,
Everything's served in a trough.
suck it in. Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be like, I mean, the whole area is just going to be pretty much heavily Mario, Donkey Kong. I don't think they'll do much with anything else.
Nothing Zelda.
I would love for there to be something Zelda, but I don't know.
Where you go around killing chickens or something.
Porcupines.
I mean, that would be another one that they could do a shooting thing with, because I loved on the Wii the shooting game with Zelda, the Link's crossbow training. That thing was fun.
Mm.
So there's all kinds of stuff they could do. Will they do it?
That's potential.
Probably not.
Mm.
But so no Castlevania. I'll just have to dream about that one.
No Contra either, I guess. Then right?
Yeah, wait till
You got to
just
throw
wait till
because
Konami.
the Konami code. You got to throw that in there somehow with some attraction if they can. I guess, but they can if it's not on the top on Nintendo.
Just wait till Konami Land.
Gyromite or Gyromite? The original.
You think they'll sell Power Gloves there? That would be. Get your useless glove to wear. What's it do? Nothing. There's a cartoon about it. Go watch it. And it was in a movie starring
Fred Savage. Right?
Fred Savage.
Yeah, the Wizard. They're gonna have that playing there like 24/7.
Oh yeah.
So did you all have the Gyromite robot?
Rob?
I did not.
Rob the robot.
We did
Yeah.
not.
We had it, and I never could get it to work. Could you get it to work, Jared, or did you?
Yeah, but it only works on CRT TVs, and I've still got my
Nice.
older brother's one, but it's missing the actual gyroscopes.
The tops or whatever.
Just the tops and the mechanism that would cause them to spin. But everything else, I've got. I've got like batteries in it, and periodically it'll start twitching. Like that he's sentient. Yeah. But yeah, there's been some interesting accessories over the years.
Yeah.
Did you have the Virtual Boy?
Never did. I've always wanted it, even though I know it's not good. It's just purely for a collector standpoint.
Yeah, I remember playing it at Toys R Us.
Yep.
Like they
Yeah.
Play the
It was
Mario
just red.
Tennis or something.
It's just red. It was all red. I think you'd go blind.
That's why a lot of this stuff that comes out for game systems, I just don't want to buy it because they have failed me so many times before. It's like PlayStation with their new VR thing. I'm like, nope, I'm not even gonna think about getting that because it won't last. Because they did their motion thing on the other one on PS
Move
3, and I got that just because it came with the system that I bought when I worked at Toys R Us or something. And it was pointless. You use it for like one game or something.
The Xbox getting rid of their thing, right? The
Connect.
Yeah.
Connect, yeah.
Fail. Well, that's probably because of the new Microsoft HoloLens that they've teased a lot about this Jedi game. That there's this commercial. I mean, they haven't teased a lot. It's just like this one commercial they did where this girl walks up to this like lightsaber thing. She's got the HoloLens on, and that's it. And it's like, what does she do? What happens? But if you've seen any. Yeah, if you've seen any of the videos with the things they can do with the HoloLens, it's kind of like augmented reality where you're like, you have this thing, whatever, if it's your work or whatever, you don't have a monitor, you've got all this stuff just right there and you can manipulate it in 3D and all this. And if they can make that really work, then I think it could be cool. But
if they can make it work without
compromise.
Yeah, one of the things that was supposed to be big a long time ago was the Microsoft, the Surface, not the tablets, but they were going to have these Surface tables, and they were going to be everywhere, right? And they were like in restaurants, you would be able to put your drink on this table, and it would know if it's empty or not, and it would call the waitress or server, I guess, or whatever, a server over, and they would fill it up, and you could interact with all this. I've seen one at the Minchie's yogurt place, and they have one there. We play it when we're there. It's fun, but it's always messed up because it's dirty and kids are just pushing down on it as hard as they can. And But it's fun. It's like a big tablet. I mean, it's all it is.
Give me more yogurt.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, but it did take off. But there are some business case uses of it too. They have these big Surface TVs where you can do all that, but they're so expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I've got to play with the Oculus a little bit, and that's pretty fun.
Cool.
Nice.
But it's got like this giant cord that comes off of it, though.
Right.
That I'm afraid I'm going to fall over it every time moving around it. But like there was a thing we got to do that we had that on, and there was like an actual like fighter pilot chair thing that you sat in, and it had like the controls for like a fighter jet, and so you're flying the fighter jet and you're going up and down and move. You get super sick doing it, but it was fun.
Nice.
Cool. But back to Nintendo. I was just going to mention this before we moved on. I think I played the DS more than I played any other Nintendo system. I'll still pull that out every once in a while.
I do like the portability of the Switch, to have it, on your TV and take it with you on the go. So I think it's got a lot of promise and it's selling well. It's just really up to Nintendo to keep a steady stream of things coming that are of interest to people. I'm having to wait for Mario Odyssey. It's out. It's apparently the fastest selling Mario title in U.S. history. So I want it, but I'm married and I got a house payment.
Well, adulting. So much
Adulting.
You have to eat.
Now this in Mario Odyssey, he's like not in your typical Mario world environment, right? He's like in the real world, or what's going on?
It's apparently like multiple realms. I've tried to stay spoiler free with that as possible, but like Mario 64, where you're going through different worlds, like with that game, you went through a painting of the world, and there you were. So there's a bunch of locales, completely different and unique, and what the mechanic is with his hat, which is like possessed by a ghost, apparently.
Okay.
And so it's able to possess other things. Like you could throw it at a Goomba and then start walking around as a Goomba.
Nice.
You could possess a Bullet Bill and shoot, across the screen, or get from A to B. I have no idea. Let's go.
One day you'll play it. It was funny because we have the old, the NES Mini, and it's got all the Mario, like the originals on there. And my wife loves like Super Mario Brothers, so she's playing, and she tried out. She had never played Mario 2, I guess. So she tried it out, and I was outside doing something. I came back in, and she goes, "You ever played Mario 2?" I'm like, yeah, I played it back in the day. She goes, "That game's garbage."
Was it Mario 2 or the actual or Lost Levels?
No, it was the one that starts with like the.
It's way different than any other.
It's way
Mario
different
game.
than you like pull the stuff out of the ground.
And all that.
Yeah, Doki Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be Mario.
Right.
Yeah.
First made it, right?
It was too difficult.
Another game, and then
Yeah, Doki Panic. Yeah, completely different characters. They just retooled the sprites, and there you have Mario 2.
It was funny though. She's like, "That game's garbage."
I like that one.
That was fun.
She was expecting another Mario game, and she's like, "Nope, didn't like it."
Mario 3's on that one, isn't it?
Oh
So
yeah,
you can play that.
Oh, yeah, she played
that
that one's fun.
Good.
Of course, I just die like my brother. I just can't just fall off stuff.
No, it's true. I die so many times, all the time.
Man, we're already at it over an hour. This has been fun.
We haven't even talked
Holy
about
moly.
The Last Jedi.
Yeah, we need to. We'll wrap it up, I guess, with the
Or
last,
Flash.
with the last, or Flash, with the
Or
last
Flash.
Jedi. So I was watching the World Series, which we won't get into that because my team lost. I'm very sad and disappointed. But the Houston Astros did win, and that's the town that I live in, so I have to be okay with that. So I'm okay with that. But the Dodgers lost. But so I'm watching the game, and I'm not a huge sports guy, but I was watching it, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a commercial comes on. And it's Luke Skywalker stepping inside the Millennium Falcon, and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? What is this? There was no announcement about this. There was nothing. It just popped up, and I was just like, this is great. Like I tried to, I didn't want to. I tried to like stay away from stuff because I wanted to be fresh, but it just popped up, and I'm just like, this is amazing. And then the stuff that he was saying, and the scenes that had the way they spliced it together, it was just
confusing.
It was great. But it's just like I want it to be here now. So, any thoughts on the trailer?
I think
garbage.
Let's watch it right now.
It's garbage. I think he's just going to show up with white makeup on and be the Joker.
Do you think he's gonna be a bad guy? Do you think he's gonna turn?
It's possible, but I think a lot of this stuff is just super misleading, and they're just trying to make you think all these things, or it could be exactly what they're saying, showing, and it just seems like they're just throwing it all together. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think he's necessarily going to turn. I think he is definitely wary of Rey, and I think he's going to start to get afraid of her power, and maybe try and stop her from becoming Jedi or something like that. But I don't think he'll necessarily go to the dark side or anything. Like you're too strong. You can't do it.
I guess there's a book out right now called the Luke Skywalker something. I forget what it's called, but it's some stories about Luke Skywalker. And I guess the last line of the trailer where he said something, I don't have it pulled up.
This isn't going to go how you think.
Yeah, I guess that's in the book or something. So people are like, oh, that's what he said in that book. And I'm thinking that there's a lot of stuff we're seeing in these trailers are flashbacks to other things. And that's how they're confusing us. I don't know. I'm excited. I already have my ticket. I'm going by myself. So I'm a loser. But
that's right. Hey, I got my Thor tickets for this weekend. So.
Oh, I want to see that so bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard good things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks really cool.
All good things. Yeah, I'm just hoping that they really have fun with the Thor. The Thor. I hope that they do a lot of buddy comedy stuff with him and Hulk. I just think that would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So now since it's called Ragnarok, we got to wrap it up. But whatever. Ragnarok, the actual character, is not going to be in the movie, right?
You're that's a longer story. Ragnarok, you're thinking of Ragnarok from the Puzzle Quest.
But he was in the comics, right?
Yeah, he was in the comics. Ragnarok is an event. It's the fall of the Norse gods and everything. In the comics, Thor had been missing for a while. It was during Civil War. Tony Stark, other guys made a robot Thor.
Oh gosh, Tony
Stark. Who eventually went crazy and then named himself Ragnarok.
Okay.
So
he's not going to have anything to do with the movie. Okay, good.
No.
I'll take 20.
I was hoping not. Tony Stark. I'm sorry. Man, Thor's not around. What should we do? I got an idea. Let's make a robot Thor. It just seems like something that would be on some scatterbrain weird 80s cartoon. But
yeah.
Oh well. So much that we could. The Flash was.
Flash good. Had the elongated man on it. Ralph Dibny.
But you know what made me so excited about the
Plastic
Flash?
Man.
This last episode of the Flash. Trejo.
Yeah.
Danny Trejo.
Oh my goodness, I love him. He's so great. And I was like, when he showed up, I was like, yes, this is going to be a good episode. He's just so funny and just so good. And his if you know his backstory, his real life backstory, it just makes you love him even more. Just how he came out of prison and all this stuff and changed his life around, and now he's just this great actor and has all these restaurants and all this stuff. It's just when he came on, I was like, yes. I hope they bring him back. I hope they bring him back.
I'm going to hunt you.
Yeah.
I'm going to hunt you.
Yeah.
Did you say you're going to hunt me? Yeah, it was good. That's good.
And I liked that they called the dude Plastic Man, and he was
Yeah,
like,
well, that's not
"Really?"
actually Plastic Man.
No, I know, but then he was
Okay.
like, "No,
Yeah,
that's a what
That's a
kind of
horrible
name?
name.
Yeah, what's a horrible name?"
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
I liked he sneezed and his face fell apart.
Yeah, and then dude throws up.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. But yeah, I want Trejo to come back. I would like him to be like in every episode, just hang around. He's just funny. He's just got that weird humor about him that just makes you laugh. But anyway, so I mean, it's an hour 10. Jared, we've loved having you on. You are more than welcome to come on anytime you want to and talk about geek stuff with us. It'll just cost you that belt that's in back there. You just gotta send me that Super Smash Brothers belt. And I'm just kidding. Is that the Switch right there?
No, that's the Wii U.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get into that another day. But it's been awesome being on, guys. I appreciate it.
It's been great having you. Loved it.
Yeah.
And if you loved us having Jared on, let us know in the Twitterverse or Facebook, and because you just talk to us all the time. I am right before we started this, I was getting ready to set up a Facebook group to see if people want to get on there and talk. I didn't think of a name for it yet. It's just I Am Geek, but I don't know if we want to call it something to separate it from our other group.
Listener group.
So we'll copy BLT.
How about I Am Group?
I Am Group.
I am group.
The I Am Geek I Am Group. There we go. I like that.
There you go.
You're welcome.
This is
You're welcome.
I guess we can't have the belt now.
They'll send us the bill.
That's $500.
But anyways, okay, well, I think that's going to do it for episode 29 next week. Will be episode 30.
Wow.
And I'll be less of a man next week.
Yeah.
I'm half the
Not really.
man I used to be.
I'm having surgery next week, so we'll see how next week goes.
Just be talking in a higher octave.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. It's me, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Ryan, you're being nuts.
Oh, cut it out. All right, and with that, we are I Am Geek, and we'll be talking to you next week. Have a good morning, good afternoon, or good night. See you next time.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir, Pee-wee. Au revoir.